I get a ton of people in the DMs or even in person all telling me the same thing. Josh, I want to start my fitness journey. I want to get in shape, but I'm going to start when things slow down. My work schedule is just too hectic. I'm going to wait until the kids grow up a little bit. Maybe after the holidays or just in general when life slows down. I have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of problem. Life is just lifing right now. And I feel them. I used to be in the same mindset when I was 210 pounds. I used to tell myself that I'll start when life slows down. And guess what? It never came, right? And I used to feel bad for them. But I remember reading this one verse, and it was written by one of the wisest men on earth, King Solomon. And I'm going to read it to you right now. He says in Ecclesiastes 11:4, "He who observes the wind will not sow, and he who regards the clouds will not reap." In this verse, he's talking to farmers at a time where their whole family's survival depended on harvest. And even King Solomon right now in this verse says, if you keep waiting for the perfect condition, the perfect moment, you'll never plant anything. You'll literally watch as your family starves slowly because you keep waiting for the wind to clear up. The same thing with the clouds to clear up. And I want you to understand, and this is the reality of things, your work schedule will not clear up. Your life will not slow down for you. Life is always going to be hectic. Just as the wind will not clear up, the clouds will not clear up. Life doesn't get less busy by day, and I'm sure you know that. Day by day, it gets more complex. More responsibilities pop up, and just overall more noise. And the guy who says he's too busy right now is going to be just as busy in 6 months and just as busy in 1 year. And he's going to look back and he's going to realize that the only thing that changed was his age, him getting older. Or possibly the only thing that changed in his body is gaining weight. He feels more sluggish. He feels like he has less energy. He feels a noticeable weight change in his waist. Clothes don't fit the same. His mood is always down all the time. And that isn't a coincidence. It's not because your schedule is too tight or you're too busy that you feel these types of things. It's just a reflection of your body. In the 6 months to the 1 year time frame that guy keeps waiting because he says he's too busy, his metabolism slowed. His habits got more locked in. And the gap of who he is and who he wants to be is so far apart. And if anything, it got wider because he gained the weight. I want you to understand the more time you keep putting it off because it's too busy, the more farther away your goal is going to be. This is the gap you currently right now, if you start right now. But if you keep telling yourself that life is too busy right now, you'll start when things slow down, slowly, day by day, week by week, month by month, possibly in a year, the gap is going to widen. I remember hearing this one thing, or I think someone told me this. Waiting for the right time does not buy you a better future, but it does cost you the present, possibly the future, right? If you gain the weight, widen the gap. Now here's where it gets really, really good. King Solomon wasn't just talking about time. This is why I say he was one of the wisest men on earth. A chapter beforehand, in chapter 10 of Ecclesiastes, verse 10, he says something else that's even more amazing. He talks about preparation. Let's read in Ecclesiastes 10, verse 10. If the iron is blunt and does not sharpen the edge, he must use more strength. But wisdom helps one to succeed. If the iron is blunt, you're required to use more strength. So he's telling you to sharpen it. He's telling you the value of wisdom. Here's what King Solomon is saying. You think that your problem is that you don't have enough time. But in reality, you're just swinging with a dull axe, a dull blade. You're trying to brute force your way into your training, into your week, into your nutrition with no structure, no clarity, and no system. And a dull blade does not need more swings. It does not need more strength. It requires to be sharpened. And the same thing goes with your approach in your training, in your diet, in nutrition, in your lifestyle. You don't need to keep swinging harder. And I know you tried that before. And you saw no results, and you quit. And you told yourself it's just because life is too hectic right now. When in reality, you need to sharpen that blade in order to get to where you want to be. Because like I said, or like King Solomon says in this verse, if you keep swinging, you're not going to see the results. Because swinging with the dull blade is pointless. Now, Josh, what does sharpening the blade look like? I see the metaphor, but what does it look like? It looks like a meal rhythm, understanding what you're supposed to be eating so that you're not tempted by 9 p.m. on a random day, eating whatever is in your kitchen. It looks like knowing exactly what you're eating before the week even starts, so that when Wednesday hits and life gets hectic and you have responsibilities popping up, because we all do, you don't get tempted to eat fast food or random things, but you know exactly what you're eating. There's no need for second guessing. You wake up on Wednesday and you know, I'm eating ground beef, sweet potato, and rice for dinner. So when I have everything going on in my head, I don't get overwhelmed, overstimulated, and eat McDonald's because I don't have time. But you know exactly what you're eating, so you eat that. It looks like being coached so that your effort is being pointed towards the right direction and you're not swinging at a pointless target or with a dull blade, dull axe. Because the swinging will be pointless and you'll waste time. And then you'll resort to external factors saying that you didn't have time or you were just too busy, too many responsibilities. And trust me when I say this, the guys who finally get results, they do not have more time than you. I guarantee that. I promise you that. They don't have more time than you. They didn't suddenly find more time. They didn't suddenly create more time, right? We all have the same 24 hours in a day. They didn't have 25. They simply stopped swinging harder and they started swinging smarter. I'm gonna say that one more time. They didn't start swinging harder. They started swinging smarter. And I'm not saying you have to stop swinging at all. No. If anything, you're still going to be swinging. But in order to chop down that tree that you're swinging with the dull axe, you're going to have to swing like 50 to 100 times. But if you sharpen the axe, you only have to swing 5 to 6 times in order to chop the tree down. I hope you see where I'm going here. I don't know how else to put it more clear than that. And I would be honest, the Bible is not gentle about this. King Solomon is not gentle about it. He said it plain, just flat out. If you keep waiting for the wind to clear, the clouds to clear, you'll never plant. He didn't say maybe. He said you'll never plant and you'll watch your family slowly die. Now, obviously, right, that's not going to happen because we're not a farmer. I'm talking metaphorically here. But if you keep waiting for life to slow down, you'll never get that body. You'll never have that identity. You'll never have that discipline that you know you need. And then your family's going to be watching you, or your friends, or your girlfriend, or maybe those around you if you're looking for a girl, right? Ask yourself, are you the right representation of who you want to be? Are you him already? Most likely not, because life is too busy right now. Yeah, King Solomon said it flat out. You'll never plant if you keep waiting for the perfect moment. He didn't say maybe. He said flat out, you'll never plant. And that's the law of reaping and sowing. That's just how it works. You're not going to accidentally wake up one day and stumble into the body, into the discipline, into the identity that you want to have. You have to plant it on purpose, regardless of the time or the conditions that you're in imperfect conditions. With your sharpened axe and your hands inside the dirt, be ready to plant. Be ready to start. Because your purpose is too important to wait on. Your dream physique is too important to wait on. Your identity is too important to wait on. Who you want to become is too important. Who you need to become. I'm not saying who you want to. The fact that I said who you want to become, discard that. It's who you need to become. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. You know deep down that you need to become that man. There's no second option. And that there is a second option. But that second option is, it shouldn't even be an option. And you know it deep down. But you keep blaming external factors. And your family sees that. Your girlfriend sees that. And they're going to see the type of man you are. You don't want to be that man. You don't want to be option 2. You want to be option 1. And like I said, that's too important to be waiting on, to be pushing off. Because 6 months will go by. 1 year will go by. 2 years, 3 years, 4 or 5 years would go by. And you have the same mindset of saying that it's too busy. I'm too busy. I'm going to wait until life slows down. And then you realize after 5 years that life never slows down. Or maybe not. Right? Maybe the 6 months wasn't enough to realize that life never slows down for you. Or the 1 year was never enough to realize that. And you're not becoming the man that God is calling you to be. That God designed you to be. God designed all of us men to be leaders. And if we can't lead ourselves, we can't be leaders. We can't. And if you're watching this right now and you feel like you're one of those guys saying they'll start when life slows down or that you're too busy, take this as a sign to start now, to start today. Stop watching the wind, the clouds, sharpen your axe, and plant today. Because if not, you'll widen the gap in who you need to become, not want. If you feel kind of lost, kind of overstimulated in the chaos that is happening in your life, and you think you're too busy, but you just can't understand how to sharpen your axe, how to sharpen your blade, just DM me the word go on my Instagram. I'll have it linked down below. And I'll help you out. I'll sharpen the axe with you, and I'll guide you every single step of the way. But if you found this video helpful, I would really appreciate you subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up so it could hit other people's algorithms, other men that need to hear this message. And I'll be posting more faith-related things like this more often on this page. So if you're interested, subscribe, like I said. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.